So let's take a walk through the garden area. First off, to start, these old vintage, like mobile home frames or whatever you want to call them. I remember my parents having them on their mobile home. Anyways, that's what I think of when I see these. We're going to use those and go over the fence here with those, okay? And we'll raise them up high enough that, you know, they don't block nothing or anything like that. But the main thing is I've got these climbing roses here and here. I thought they were dead, but they're coming back alive. I'd like them a little closer, of course. We'll have to move those probably in the next spring. And this fall we won't do it because I don't think you can move roses in the fall. I don't know. I'll check it out. Anyways, my other ones up front are doing really good, but and you can see those way up there by the fence there. They're doing beautifully. They'll climb that thing. And that's the purpose of these. I want them to climb. So anyways, they're shooting up really fast. But I cover everything with hay, me and my husband do, because it helps with the water, holds the moisture in. We do it with all our fruit trees. This is a Italian plum. It's a pear. Let's see what else we have here. This was a cherry tree, and a gopher or a mole got it. But I kept saying, leave it alone, let's see what happens. And it looks like it's got a bunch of branches coming off. If I ever get cherries from it, fine. If I don't, it's just a pretty little tree. But I'm going to try and see what happens. You know, I might take that one center stalk, the strongest one, which it is. And it's got a branch down there at the bottom, but it also branches up here too. So I thought I might just leave it and see what happens, because it's got a good base down there. So we'll just see what happens. This one is a nectarine, I believe. Or is this the, yeah, this is the nectarine. And it's just a young one. And some of the branches should have been trimmed a little higher, I think, or something, because they didn't make it. But, you know, they don't look as healthy. But it's only 2 years, I think, or 3 years. 3 years on that one, I think. That's a lilac bush, and that's growing really good this year. Last year it wasn't doing so good. And let's see, this here is another cherry tree, and it's doing really good. They all had blossoms this year, but this is our apple tree. The plum and the cherry, the middle cherry here, the Italian plum and the pear tree over there are the oldest of them all that we've had forever. We've had others that the gophers have gotten. So now they don't seem to bother these, knock on wood. But this is an apple tree, and we get loads of apples on that. I make pie filling, I make pies, I make jams, I make all kinds of stuff with it. Applesauce. There's another apple tree back there. And it's a young one. And there's a lilac bush back there in the corner too, right there. And it's starting to pick up too. I bought them when they were really young. And I mean, just barely. So they're just now starting to kick in, I guess. This is second summer. And this one here is a lost apple, they call it. Apple tree from our friends that gave it to us. He does the lost apples and finds the old apples, and this one is like the apple. It's like over 100 years old or something like that. But anyways, it was like 2 twigs. It kind of stuck out like 2 branches like this, and we had it planted. Well, one of the sides died, and I said, well, I'm not losing it, and I kept nursing it, and now it's getting a really strong base. It's doing great, and we shall see what happens. He's also a tree man, so he comes out and prunes our trees and stuff, which next year he's going to top this a little lower because that's a little too tall for us. Be hard to get those pears up there, and we don't have a ladder like that. So anyways, I love them, the shade, especially in the summertime and when it's hot. It's nice to have that shade. Here's my garden area. All these little black circle ones are potatoes, Yukon Gold, and they're growing beautifully. Then there's my corn. Sounds like trash guy's coming to pick up the trash cans. Okay, there's my corn. And then that whole row back there in the dirt is sunflowers that I planted. Probably 40. I'm going to let him pass before I continue because it's going to be kind of loud. But I'll just show you my scenery. How's that? My husband built this fence and these garden boxes for me. We had put the black driveway tarp down, and it's been a lifesaver. I hate weeds, so these beds have really been nice. It's all donated supplies, so it didn't cost us nothing but the dirt. And that's it. We got some good garden soil in there. Anyways, this is all sunflowers over here along the dirt wall. And then that's cabbage, all those in the back. This one here is the yellow squash, summer squash, whatever you want to call it. And then this one here is my tomatoes, different ones. I got beefsteak, celebrity, and early girl, I think. Okay. So this is my beets that I just planted the other night, reseeded. And yes, they're clubbed together, but once they start getting really strong, that's when I move them, and I seem to have bigger ones that way. So that's the way I've been doing them. Sometimes I do them in the greenhouse, and sometimes I do them out here. These are green beans, and this variety I've never had. I don't see the tag. Where's the tag? There was a tag here. He doesn't like tags and he throws them away, and I like my tags because it tells me what I got. But I don't see it here. Let's see, maybe here it is. He didn't throw it away. Good. One year he did it and I said, stop it. These are scarlet runner beans. So we'll see how they are. I've never bought them before. That's the long ones. Underneath, these right here are ones I planted. But these scarlet runners, they're pretty cool. So I don't know if they're a good bean, but it says it's good for canning and all that. So it says yard to table or whatever you call it, garden to table. And some over here too. And then I planted of course, the Kentucky Wonder. I love those. And I always get the pole. I don't like the bush. So they're all kicking in. This is all Brussels sprouts. And like I said, I let them go like this. And I just take them from the little seedling pots. I put them like this. Once they start getting stronger, then I thin them out. I don't do it until then. And let's see, this is all onions. I've got white and red onions in these garden boxes and the one next to us. And then these here, I believe, are okra. Yeah, I love my fried okra. Love it. And then the more green beans that I planted, the Kentucky Wonder. Wonder if they really did come from Kentucky. And then here's some more. And then of course I've got my red and yellow bell peppers. And then I've got some ghost peppers because I make him the cowboy candy. And you don't see the jalapenos yet, but they're coming up. And they're just, it was late season, that's all. Lettuce is growing good. I love that. And then some more onions. I had so many, and I gave away a bunch too because I had too many seedlings. This is my asparagus, which I love. I've got some there I gotta pick. I don't get out here like I should really, and I need to start doing it. I had to kind of quit doing my live videos because it was getting, on my Facebook, it was just getting too much and I didn't get nothing done. So, anyways. And then some more, that's cucumbers, that's right. That's the kind that are, what do you call it? The good kind. They don't give you the gas and all that stuff. There's some more garlic over in that corner. Some more onions here. And then I think that right there is more tomato plants that I planted from some seeds right down there. I don't know if you see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. Let me see. See right there? And I'm gonna let those get as strong as I can before I transplant those. That's garlic. And that's more onions. And I believe these were planted a month after those were, so I just wanted to stagger them. Oops, I'm sorry. Get that back out. What was I gonna say? There was something I was gonna show you. I see a weed. I don't like weeds. Not in my garden. Oh, there's some garlic. I just kind of threw the garlic in and said if it grows, it grows. And that's how I usually do it anyways. And it works every time. I think I have garlic in this bed or over there. I can't remember. But anyways. But yes, this black stuff. We're going to put some, not bark, because that seems to draw in the carpenter ants. So we're going to put down some gravel to help, you know, because it gets really hot on that black tarp. Okay, this is blackberries that it was all one plant, and I ended up having to divide it out. It's about 5 years old, I think, and we ended up making this trellis, and you can see it climbs over. Last year it really climbed good too. Then I got the hops. I love hops. I think they're beautiful, and they just help you shade too. My rhubarb, look how big. Ooh, I love that. It's not as big as some people's, but it's big. Then I've got grapes. I've got Concord and I've got Thompson's. One side I've got Concord and one side I've got Thompson's. And then of course the blackberries that go with it. Blackberries on this end started growing, and then over here. And I kept noticing this one wasn't doing so well that we had transplanted, and I thought, what in the world's going on? The watering system on this side was off. And it's a good thing I checked it today, or they would have died. So, and this is grapes here. These are the Concords. Yeah. And then, I don't know how you tell the difference. I guess the leaves are a little different. If you can see that one there, then you come over here to the Thompsons, and it's got kind of a split. You know what I mean? It's a little different leaf. So it's kind of cool that you can tell it a little bit apart. Once I get them, then I'm going to be happy. But, and then this is his raspberry patch. And I'm telling you what, we get the raspberries. He used to just have them on stakes. Well, they've grown so much. Can you see all the bees? That is so cool. Love feeding those babies. Yellow jackson and wasps, they can go away. I hate those. The bees don't scare me because they don't really bother you. They're too busy. And then you see the bumblebees. The other day, that was packed with bumblebees. I mean, everywhere was bumblebees, no bees. Now I see bees. And we've got some mason bees too, because we've got a little mason bee house that we made. I'll show you. It's pretty cool. So anyways, that's pretty much of our garden. I've got to take those metal panels over there and make my tomato cages up. And I follow that guy on Growing a Greener World. Sometimes he's got some really neat ideas, and so I follow him, and I'm going to use those for that. But this fence is, you know, I mean, he buys the, this fence is pretty old. It's like 4 years now, 3 years now, like that. But, so we've got to do some touch-up paints and staining and whatever. But I kind of like the natural, to be honest with you. And we put netting right along the bottom just because cats seem to like to come in here. And we had a rabbit that was eating away everything. But if you can kind of, let me see if I can get to where you can see the netting. Let me go over here. Let's see. If you can, there you go. See the bottom 3-4 rungs have the netting on it, and we use zip ties, and we just went along and did that so that the animals couldn't get in there. And then he did the rocks, but we've got to add more. We've got to get some more rocks and put in there because they could get through that part if they wanted to. But the cat's less, at least now, with the netting. That is nothing worse than digging up weeds and all of a sudden you got a clump of poop from a cat. Hate that. But anyway, so he made that gate there, and then that's our composting bins over there. That's the soil over there, and he had it over by the greenhouse, and the pine needles were all getting in it, which is fine, but didn't want that. And then the little shed there, we're going to make it a little bigger. It's just a little too small. And if you look, that's the mason bee house, and we have them all the time. We have to watch it though, because yellow jackets will end up going in the little blue area for the butterflies. The yellow jackets like to get in there, and even the wasp. So we really watch that really closely. And I believe he's made it where you can open up the back to clean out. I'm not sure, but anyways. And this shed was made out of wood that was given to us too. And it's a little garden shed, and it's got a little shelf in there that I can stand and pot plants if I wanted to. But, and then we have everything on a timer, all watered that way, and then we put the straw over. And once these all start growing up, we'll put straw over this. Even though there's black tarp underneath, we still do the straw. It just helps keep the ground cooler, and the water stays in. But I can't wait till my sunflowers. One time I had the sunflowers so high you couldn't even see the fence. It was just beautiful, and they were just so full. But, and then this is the onion table, or drying table, as you want to call it, potato onion table that I made. And it's real lightweight. And I just move it around if I need to. We got to mow out here, of course, but I love it out here. I love my mornings out here. And just excited, so. Anyways, y'all have a good day. I'm going to send you off with the flag. I love that. Let her wave high. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, you guys. Bye.